Man, listen, folks, it's been an incredibly crazy month this year, this October 2021, in popular horror franchises being resurrected. And here we are again, this time it being the series. Let's jump into my review of the series, I Know What You Did Last Summer. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the series I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is returning to Amazon Prime October 15th. It is a series now, so you're getting the first 4 episodes, and then each and following Friday you're going to be getting a new episode dropping. But like I said, it's been an incredibly crazy time in regards to horror franchises returning. You have Chucky, you have Slumber Party Massacre, you have Halloween with the new movie. You have so many different things that are coming back. That is just wild. It's kind of Paranormal Activity, which I forgot about. You know, you got so many different things that are returning this October, and this is just another one. And so I had to check it out, and I got a lot to say about this one. So the first thing I will say is I only saw the first 4 episodes, and that changes my expectations about one thing, which I will come back to at the end of this review. There will be mild spoilers here, not too much going on. I want to make sure you get a chance to enjoy this too, especially since you're getting the first 4 episodes and you get to really pretty much consume it the way I did, and you'll probably have some of the same similar feelings I'm having with the first 4. But the 1997 film was a complete slasher. You know, the guy with the hook. It was a fan favorite. People loved it. But this time, this is more of a drama, especially from what I've seen so far in the first 4 episodes. And it's not like we've actually seen the killer yet or the hook, but we've seen his doings, and we know it must be some form of a blade in which how he's taking his victim. So, that's the one thing, is that because it is a television show, things are being drawn out just a little bit longer. That way you're getting more character development and more drama, so that the stakes are higher, instead of they just quickly introducing the killer and it just be that. And much like the 1997 film, it is still a slasher revenge horror film or series. So so not quite a slasher just yet, more of a teenage drama, which means that this thing is filled with endless jump scares. But the other thing that really caught my eye is that this is filmed in beautiful Hawaii, which if I had to do a film or a series, please let's film in Hawaii. It's beautiful, and it's being filmed in places I've been before, so it was really cool to resonate the locations in which a lot of this is happening. So the other thing to that, though, as much as I love Hawaii, I truly appreciate the Polynesian culture, and there's not a lot of that going on here, and I get it that you can't completely just embed this whole story within it, but I think I would have liked a little bit more. There is some, but I think I would have liked a little bit more, just to really show and highlight and give appreciation to that culture on that island. There is a scene truly that they do, but I think that I shouldn't have to wait for 1 episode in order to be like, okay, finally they got something. You know what I mean? But Hawaii is beautiful, and it's on the island of Oahu. So, if you've ever been there, you will definitely recognize some of the scenery that this film or this series was shot in. If I say film, I truly apologize. But like I said, this is truly a drama. Things are fleshed out. Characters are really being built up, and you're understanding the drama between everybody. One other thing before I get into it is that I attended New York Comic Con last weekend, and during the virtual panel, the cast of this show was visited by the original cast of the film. And I think that's important, because I think there's a great level of respect between this cast and the 1997 film cast. So that, when you talk about the integrity or you talk about the toning of it, Sure, the tone is a little bit different, but you know everyone's heart's in it to try to put out the best product that they can and try to really give the fans what they want. So you know, it gave me a lot more respect for the cast in this one, which I wasn't too familiar with, but overall I think everybody was pretty solid in the roles that they were given. Now let's get into this now. Much like much like the film, you know, it's all about that one night that changed everything, and everybody now has to keep a secret. So in this one now, you have a group of teenage kids, and they are getting ready to call it quits for high school. This is it. This is the last night. It's a party, and there's a lot of drama going on here. If you've ever been in high school, which I should note that because they are high schoolers, they are acting very much like high schoolers. So don't use your adult perception of thinking like, oh, they would never do that, etc., etc. Remember when you were in high school, how you were, how drama was, how rumors floated around, all of that other stuff, which they really bodied the essence of that to a T. But yeah, it's one night, they're having a party and everything is crazy. You know, people are sleeping with people, drama, heartbreaks, all that sorts of different things, until they decide to leave a party here. And upon leaving a party, you know, these back roads of Hawaii, if you've ever been on these roads that kind of, you know, on the perimeter of the island, they're scary. I've drove them, and I have a fear of exactly some of the things that have happened in this film. But they're narrow. They're on the edge of the island. So there's like mountain, road, cliff, and traffic goes both ways. And then when it's late, it's dark. The lights could be blinding, all those sorts of different things. And not to mention they were drinking. But yeah, they had a close call with a car coming past them. But next thing you know, there is somebody in the middle of the street, and they hit them. And now everybody's scrambling, trying to decide what do they do. You know, if they tell the cops, that's just jeopardize their future. You know, will they go to jail? You know, all sorts of different things that, you know, you may not totally agree with in regards to perception, but that's just how high schoolers think. You know, you're thinking about the grand scheme of things, but you're actually not really addressing the issue right now. And that right there is where things start to get crazy. So you have Lennon, who is a twin to Allison. They're totally different, but one's not more righteous than the other. I should definitely premise that. And Madison Iseman is playing the twins, which I think she does a fantastic job here. My only issue is that because it's still her, it is really hard to tell which twin is what, besides a certain facial feature with one has glitter on their face and one doesn't. So it gets a little bit tricky at times to figure out who's who, because it's not like you have like, you know, like Zen and Zhang, you know, you're not having two different types of personalities here. You're having them both, one kind of reserved and quiet, one more outspoken, but they're both have their doings, you know what I mean? But which make things much more interesting here is Lennon was the one driving, and the person they hit was her twin sister Allison, which puts her in the ultimate bind of her life. And they decide to ultimately dispose of the body and consider it an accident, a missing persons case accident. And while that sounds silly, in Hawaii, missing persons is the highest level of crime in that state, on the islands. It's literally that. Everybody goes missing all the time. So it does essentially draw them a lot of time to decide how they're going to play this out, to either move on with life, come up with a plan and everything. However, there's one issue here. Everyone doesn't agree with the decision, and there's also somebody now that knows what they did last summer, now that the time has passed. So that's what's going on here. You know, the tricky thing with this film is that they're moving between scenes of the party to the current time, and it's a little bit difficult to kind of keep up with at times, especially with the twins, because you really don't know which character's what at times. But they're trying to, the reason they're doing this is because they're trying to draw suspicion between the current timeline and because of what happened in the past, suspicion amongst the group, drama, secrets, lies, all that sorts of different things. It is a ton of drama, which is why I say it is the purest form of teen drama, because you got so many different type of things happening, especially in the past when the parties, you got, again, people sleeping with people liking each other, people are being deceiving to other, all sorts of different things like that. And sure, while there's a lot of drama and I think the story is pretty good, it's very comical at times. There's definitely times you will laugh, you know, there's times you're gonna be like, this is really cynical, you know what I mean? But again, you gotta remember that this is for the teenage audience, and this is actually an audience that Amazon has been tapping into for a while, so it makes sense that they will point that towards them. So, you know, I can get with that. But the other things I will say that you will, the more and more you get invested into these characters, you will also start to try to draw your own conclusions. You will also start to become suspicious of certain characters. It also may make you dislike certain characters. I mean, I can say for myself that with a character and, you know, a friend being killed, you know, there was really no grieving. There was kind of like a just going on about things, and that kind of was like, well, that's kind of messed up, like, you know, and people's responses to things seem really off at times, you know. It's interesting, but at this point now they're trying to figure out if Allison is really alive and she's the one that is terrorizing them, or is it somebody else? And you have adults trying to figure it out, you have the kids trying to figure it out, you have the kids trying to go on with their life, you have a dad who their dad is just, I'd say he's a very interesting character, but he's also trying to balance with his daughter, the one daughter he still have, being a dad, his own personal life, his own issues, his connections to the town, which is a story of his own and everything. So, you know, and then you learn a lot more about the dynamics between the sisters, although they're twins, and most times you hear about twins being, you know, really one and the same and sticking together. These two really aren't. So you're seeing a very unconventional relationship between twins that also kind of drive things along as well too. So, but as I said in the beginning, the one thing I will say is that towards the end of the 4th episode is where I really think they're going to start getting into which made this film a classic, and they're going to get to the slashing part of this. The gore is picking up. The Polynesian culture is being displayed more. The stakes are higher. So I think once you get past episode 4, I think things are going to start getting crazy. I think they did all the character development in the first 4 episodes, but now they're ready to get into things, and we got to see how this all plays out. But again, this is I Know What You Did Last Summer. It is going to be releasing on Amazon Prime Video October 15th. 4 episodes are dropping at once, and then each and following Fridays you're getting a new episode, which means you got to stick through it to the entire end. Folks, let me know if you're excited for this. Let me know your thoughts about this. Let me know your thoughts about what I said. And please, I hope you subscribe so you can stick around for more movie reviews and television reviews coming very soon.